choice between this or going back to being a slave, then I choose to fight.
What amazes me is how anyone could have that kind of power and yet keep it hidden all this time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Arise. We are here. We are in Lenegus. We're trying to find more about the Five Lords, which actually, I'm really glad this quest exists. It's a little late in the game, because we really know almost nothing about them. The only one we kind of know about is Volron, because he's the current sovereign. All the other ones are just people that won the crown. I guess, okay, we know quite a bit about Dolahim. I guess we can, like, give him credit.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
Oh, what skill? He's got a lot of them.
What skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
This is gregariousness.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
How
So
convenient.
there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone
Well,
do
first of all,
it?
you need to get a deep,
Now
booming
you've got me
voice.
curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden? I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
Okay, this is fantastic.
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Oh, come on, you have to actually show Alfred and Law. That'd be amazing. So, now I think I should try that. I should speak in a lower, more resonant voice, see if all of you are immediately enthralled by my acumen. She says as though, like, not able to do a much, much deeper, more booming voice on command. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency. Erwozi Teldeles. You probably know him better as Lord. Oh! You, my friend, have terrible taste? Why would you ever support that sack of molten? I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute, believe me. I realize he can be a aggressive man. But those people don't realize how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Teldeles doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that, we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
This is actually really good. I mean, at the same time, I wish there was more. I want more. I don't want to just find out it's like, oh yeah, he was nice to a puppy once. Like, give me some actual backstory on these guys. Like, it is important to humanize the people in the world and not just make them caricatures. However, that said, I also do like the idea. It's pushing a understanding or a narrative that the crown contest itself makes people into monsters. Like, Balsef and a lot of these other ones were probably really, really, really good and decent people. And then they were pushed to the situation of cutthroat competition against other lords that were doing who knows what. And so they just kept escalating each other, which is a really interesting idea. Oh, Lord Dolhaleen, you've returned. I see you brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am? Surely you must. Not only do I support House Il-Karas, more specifically his lordship personally. I love how she was so excited to see Lord Dohalim, and Lord Dohalim hasn't even acknowledged her presence yet. So much so, I share my appreciation and lordship with all who will listen. I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject with a very terminal for all to read and enjoy. The lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult. Okay, I can see she's a fan of Dohalim. She doesn't say the recent, shifting, the recent disaster. She says the recent tumult. I've been unable to upload them. Since you're here, I'll just read them aloud. Yeah. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the fabled House Il-Karas, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Look at his face! He is so like, I am not here for this. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare with his magnificence. No, Alvin! So refined and majestic his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he became our sovereign, when I shall bloom anew, ushered an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Wait, how long does this go? Till that glorious day comes, there'll ever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and also night. Well, what'd you think? Poured my whole heart now hoping to capture your essence? Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lord's love or like any accomplishment. You're just like, he's really cool. It is time to write the lines down to a bit. Bend it? Only then the match be complete? Yeah, he doesn't say a word.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegus then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Yeah, why did you say the guy? Like, he's got a name? Interesting, only 3 stars, but 5 lords? Well, I never. Okay, cat, I can't see. You would try to tear me away from a house of vault. Fuck you. I'm not trying to tear anything.
What?
What do you want? You referred Lord Dohalim, that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Don't scare me like that. Answer your question. I came from a family that served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes. We might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, which win his interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegus, we should get on with colonizing Dahna and exploring our horizon. That way, we will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dahna's surface. That's why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It's a pursuit of power for the advancement of our kind. It's what makes him exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, 2 sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. Can't move? So the father fills me with endless pride. You can't be up here? I'm trying to read the screen.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Dahnans?
Oh, was that? Is there someone back in the takeoff departure area? Or is there going to be someone in the next zone? I definitely still have the quest in my quest log, so I should definitely be... No, there's nothing here. So I'll head into the next zone, so there's definitely no one in this one. This one being the zone I'm not currently in case it's not clear. I really like Doheline's like floofy pants. Okay, yeah, there are two more here.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
What is that?
Indeed.
You're hearing this like
The
glimmer
effects
glimmer?
of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
This area? This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Canaris. I must ask you to depart at once. I claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well, but I bid you listen carefully regardless. And notice how the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to meet in the crown contest. We have theories of why this might be. Lord Almadria quashed doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, but her older brother's claim to the seat for herself. The woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, leaves her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all of Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon, the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little, I mean, like, I get it, and I definitely have fallen into this trap as well, where you're just like, oh, hey, this person's like me, so I want them to win, and you let that cloud your judgment as to who they really are. Not to get political, but, like, I remember back in the 2016 election, I got so frustrated because a lot of people were supporting Hillary purely because she was a woman, even though, like, Bernie Sanders was way more a feminist than Hillary ever was. But Bernie Sanders was a man, and so they just supported Hillary by default, and it was really... What is that? Oh, that frustrates me. Okay, she doesn't have anything new to say. Those I talked to before this quest came up, so I didn't re-talk to them. What's happening? I don't get it. Wasn't a decree or anything to announce it. This like there always is? You're right. There's an accident. Strange since I haven't heard anything from the Sovereign. Do my ears deceive me? Or are you saying you don't trust what the Sovereign is doing? I'll have you know, I was part of the delegation that came down with him to Dahna during the previous crown contest. He was a brilliant man, and just as good with the astral arts. I'm sure he's well aware of the situation, thus has a plan to resolve it. Until then, must wait and trust in his judgment. I mean, if it is actually, I still think it's really dumb that they're saying that it might be Volron. But if Volron's still up here in the Sovereign, he's probably still, he might still be recovering. We kicked his ass, but good. Okay, someone with regards is finding, but I have no idea where.
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Owengil, Hildress myself. Were not for his sudden death on the surface, I likely still would be. My eyes, Lord Owengil is the true water lord. The first second he perished in some accident, like they say. Now Volron runs Gareth Harrows. Look at me started. He enslaves not only Dahnans, but his fellow Renans. He may live in a society where the victor go the spoils. His actions go against what we as the people stand for. Besides, What a family line is house necessary of his anyway. Never heard of it till he came along. They must be among some of the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending the lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense. Not to mention all the upheaval around here of late. What is happening?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renna, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Renna.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Dahnan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
I have to wonder where the gold we get for these quests actually comes from. Info terminals have gone dead too. In contact with our fellow Renans on the grounds in Dahna. I wonder if the Sovereign's aware of what's going on. I do have to say, like, that was a good little side bit. It humanized them a bit. I do think that the, like, what they said at the end was not really truthful. It wasn't really a case of, oh, hey, people are just people. I think the crown contest itself is what's causing the problem. You saved my life. I would have been a goner if you hadn't arrived when you did, milady. I understand we're in the crown contest, but no idea such a capable astral artist was in our midst. Forgive me for not realizing it sooner. Come on. All I did was strike that Zugel's weak point. I didn't even go down to Dahna for the crown contest. I'm not sure how to feel about all this praise. Where's my... I don't know how to get home. I mean, I would love... I hate that, because, like, the gamer in me wants to help her. But I can't. Oh, hey, knights. I'm Dohalim. Although it does actually look like I can't go past there. As a member of the upper caste, I order you to find a route out of here to the neighboring district. Oh, wrong one. Please, you can't expect an old man to be not with her Zugels running loose. That's exactly why I need you to do this. Not to defy me. Again? Can I step in? Alright, there's, Talkie over here. Father... Oh, there's a boy behind him? I was like, that's a boy? Father, what's going on? I'm scared. I'm not sure, son. Never in all my years has Lenegis had anything like this happen, not even once. There's always been a decree before anything takes place. Not only was there none this time, important to see damage and injuries. That mean there's something bad happening? It is possible, yes. But now, all we can do is wait and hope for the best. Yeah, they are so, like, they just don't know how to take action for themselves. It's a little bit sad for what dependency can do to people.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former Lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
Well, to be fair, Dolan
I
hasn't
guess
been on
over
Lenegus.
holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
So that's interesting. Okay, so what we have is that they had a discussion about how Volron may have survived because we never actually found his body. We found out that Volron came out of nowhere, supremely powerful in order to possibly overthrow the previous, the person who actually was the sovereign, and took over Gareth Harrows, the previous winner of the crown contest. And all other contest winners, became the Lords of Rena, and then no one ever saw them again, except in a holocon. It almost seems like the contest is being used to find the strongest astral users, and then they're just being consumed.
How could this happen? For years, Lenegus was a bastion of order and stability. Where did it all go so wrong?
Okay, I can't actually talk to you guys. Again?
Doe?
A deer?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock,
Irony.
you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. but you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Oh dear. We definitely saw her this time.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing
Do
someone?
we killed a lot of people?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
That is interesting. Because we knew there was stuff that happened, but the fact that this, because he kind of started to tell the story before about, you know, being forced into a situation where it was the people vying for it, and he was the one that won. Which I'm not sure why another Ridden is faulting him for that. And also why, I guess actually, Shion wouldn't necessarily know, what the Lord selection process was like. But she definitely knows it, so I'm not sure why she's so mad at him. Although, when someone kills someone you care about, sometimes logic doesn't ever... It's been years. I do have to laugh at her. It's like, you're just a coward. It's like, he's killed a lot more people. He's killed Almadria. He's killed Volron. Okay, not permanently, but coward is not a term to use with Dohalim at this point. Obviously, she doesn't know that, and you can't blame her for not knowing it. But... it amuses me. I feel guilty about flaring this. It's out there fighting. There's no need to worry about them. We're of a higher ranking family than ours. They're far stronger, simply fulfilling their due society as a member of the ruling elite. I know, but it doesn't sit right. They just let children die because, There's an interesting concept, though. Because with great power comes great responsibility. So if there was a 8-year-old superhero, would you still feel the need to protect them? And the answer I feel like is probably you would. I probably would. But there's a logic discourse there. Is that Glimmer Gloomer supposed to be just a audible sign that the Red Woman is watching us? Because obviously she knows we're here now. And that may have been the whole time. How long is this going to keep going on? I don't know. Normally they have orders for the top brass, probably all the separate classes what they need to do. Now that's happening. Chain of command seems like it's broken down. No one knows what's happening. It means someone somewhere isn't watching our every move. We should see if there's anyone higher ranking around here. They have an idea of what we should be doing. The Lord's going to walk away. I love how they basically said that the Danas need to, not be in the forefront and let the Rinnans take care of it while we're up here. But, all these conversations don't make sense if Dohalim's the one talking to them.
I'll
tofu?
hold on to that.
What is tofu 1/2? Feeding Finn's in bad shape. That's how many people have died. What happened is... Don't tell me they broke out? No, luckily we were able to seal them off before they got too far. It's good when they've escaped the other districts too. I guess I'd say there's a lot of Zoogles running loose about Linagus. A lot more of us, them, than there are us. So we're definitely gonna run into Zoogles before too long. I figured this would be a transition to another area. Who designed this place?
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan.
Tarnagan must be the one he killed?
Ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does
Yeah,
Faria
there's no
think...
reason to tarnish his memory.
Don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
We don't know that. I mean... Second?
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
It does take a talent, yeah.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Xion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
So I think they're kind of looking at this the wrong way. The real way to look at it is that, because granted we don't know from the story, but how likely is it that, like, A, Dohalim had to die in order to not kill the other person, from what we understand? And secondly, even if Dohalim had died, were they the last two? Because, like, if Dohalim is really good at combat, I'm not trying to take that away from him, but it's it's just as likely that someone else would have killed Taran if Dohalim hadn't. Like, how many competitors were there? You'll come down soon? We should board a starship so we can evacuate? Have the Storm's permission in our starship for anything other than the crown contest. Oh, but where's the Sovereign? It is to be believed. It's not just Zoogles are out of control. Our soldiers started to rebel too. We're seeing the start of some kind of uprising. That's absurd! Who could possibly plot such a conspiracy and think they could get away with it? It's true. You're rebelling against the Sovereign. You're rebelling against the entire Renan civilization. It's hard to say one way or the other. Nothing like this ever happened in the history of Linagus. We just know too little. That's actually interesting. Like that voice I just did, I'm like, I've never made that voice before. It has been. I don't want. I'm sorry, I discovered something new and I'm wondering if I should reshape the way that I talk. Not to that entire fact. I don't want to talk like this. But it's just, it's a thing I didn't know I could do. Be sure she airflows.
Check back in on the ranch.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely...
I love that we have the fact that everything is down and we can't contact, Dahna. There we go.
They offer their assistance.
We have Mantic Claw for that. Very, very high up there. That's only a slight upgrade. I'm not gonna worry about it. The tire fists are a big upgrade. That was a lot of money. So you've got that. Assault shot needs and okay, we like part 3 we can go to. You can also get the oh, I like that, actually. We're way down there. be able to get this before too long. But yeah, he needs a new weapon. She can get one. I just need a lot. Oh, I need a lot more gold. So a lot of these look like they're sellable. So I haven't seen the ability to upgrade armor before, so I don't think you can. Just make sure they're actually downgrades before you sell them. Was that enough? Excellent.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Alright, and with that, the fact that this guy is here means we're probably going to a combat situation. So next time, I know there's been a lot of talking, but next time we are going in and probably fighting some Zoogles that are running loose. Maybe running into Volron, maybe running into the Red Woman, maybe running into the Missing Lord. Maybe just running into a random boss that I can't predict. We'll find out and see you then.